Hey everyone, how you doing today? So I'm doing this restoration on this guitar project. It's a Peavey Raptor International Series, or Raptor 1 International Series. And right now I'm just taking off what's left of the hardware so I can get the guitar cleaned up and just start redoing everything on it. Pulling the back plate off. It was filthy. I got these guitars in a trade. They needed quite a bit of work to bring them back. I'm not sure how long they'd been sitting. Pickups and pieces were laying everywhere. Parts just missing. I'm in pretty rough shape. So I'm going to pull the neck off right here, take a look at everything, and just see what I can do with it, see if it's salvageable, and see if I can make it into a playing nice guitar again. So neck plate's coming off. All the screws and everything were still nice and tight. The threads weren't messed up in the wood or the body. Pulling the ground wire that was connected to the trim claw still, get that stuff out of there. That was an extremely tight neck joint on that. I was actually very impressed with that. This guitar is from the mid-90s, I believe. It is a plywood body, which isn't anything great, but for what I'm into it, I figured it's worth getting up and going again. Just using a little Windex to get the dirt, grime, and nastiness off of it. I was surprised how well this guitar actually cleaned up. The body was in remarkably good shape underneath all the dirt and grime. Bridge was in pretty good shape. I didn't worry about taking that off of there. Saddles and everything's going to need to be adjusted once I get the guitar back together and set up. I'm going to do this video into 3 different parts. This video is just on the body, getting the pickguard back on, new electronics, cleaning it up, wiring it, just setting it up, and then I'll do a following video on the neck, leveling the frets, recrowning them, polishing them, that type of stuff. And then I'll do a final assembly and playthrough in the 3rd video. Little chip there in the bottom, but all in all, the body's in pretty good shape for the year that it is. It's not bad. This pickguard was in pretty rough shape, so I mean, you can see the back plate warped and funky looking. So just doing a quick clean of the pickguard, trying to see if it's salvageable and what I can do with it. These Peaveys take a different style of pickguard than a Fender or a Squire, so you can't just buy one off Amazon and swap it out. So if I can reuse this, I'm going to reuse it. So after wiping it down, I noticed that it had a pretty good stain of paint or overspray or something, that purple right there. So I decided to go ahead and just wet sand that off of there. I took some 1500 grit sandpaper, and I just used a little bit of the Windex I had there because I didn't want to get up and go get some water. So light scuff on it, like I said, 1500 grit sandpaper. Went over any burrs or any nastiness that I saw in there to just try to clean it up and, like I said, make it usable. This light little bit of wet sanding actually did the trick and got all the ugly spots off of it, cleaned it up pretty nice, so I was able to reuse this Pickguard. So that cleaned up pretty well. I'm gonna, here in just a minute, polish that up a little bit. Got some rubbing compound. I tried doing it by hand first, or that's cleaner wax there. But I tried doing it by hand first and it just wasn't quite doing it. So I ended up getting a little buffing pad out on a drill and switching to a different compound. And it took the good majority of the sand scratches out. Next time I'll probably step it up to 2000, 2500, and 3000 grit sandpaper and then polish it. And it'll look like brand new when I do it next time. So I'm looking it over here and still seeing sand scratches in it. Wasn't super pleased with how it turned out. So propped it up on a box here, little 3-in-1 and a foam pad, and we're just gonna go over it till we get a little bit better shine out of it. These little foam buffing pads and the attachments for your drill are really convenient. You can get them off of Amazon. I think I spent $10 or $12 on those. You get an assortment of different textures, and you get a roll bonnet, the adapter for your drill, all that type of stuff. Got to put a little pressure on it sometimes. Trying to be careful so it didn't shoot away from me again. Nope, and there it goes. You can see the shine coming back into it now. soft rag out of my little kit there next to me and just giving her a little wipe down and see how it looks. It's not perfect, but it turned out pretty nice. Got a nice little shine to it again. Definitely usable. This is a loaded pickguard that I had in my closet, and unfortunately it won't work. They don't match up the same. The holes don't line up. They're cut just a little bit different. So I'm going to take the pickups and the pots and everything and transfer them over to the vintage Peavey pickguard so I can use it. These loaded pickguards are great. They're $20–$30 off Amazon or eBay, and they're just, depending on which one you get. This one was a cheap one, just has ceramic pickups in it, but it's got a nice cream color to it. They sound good for what they are. It's a nice little upgrade for a cheaper guitar. And for what I'm doing with this guitar, I figured it'd be perfect. A little spanner wrench there works great for getting these knobs off. Drop the pickups out of there, drop the pots, the switch. Make sure you don't lose any of your springs when you're taking it apart. You want to be able to reuse those when you're putting them back in the other pickguard. That one screw was fighting me a little bit on coming out, but it finally came out. Just a 10mm socket there with an extension. Don't need a wrench for as loose as those are. Got everything put back into the new pickguard there, or the existing pickguard. I like the white with the cream. Nice smooth tone pots. They're the small cheap ones, but they work. Now I'm going to shield the cavities on this guitar. It really does help get rid of the noise from single coil guitars. So definitely worth doing. Time consuming though. Just making sure everything fits. Got some new screws here. Get everything put back together. There's 3 wires on these loaded pickguards. 2 of them go to your output jack. 1 of them goes through the body to the back to the claw. And you just have 3 solder points to do on these. Super quick and easy to wire a Strat style guitar. I don't know how many years it's been since this pickguard was on this guitar, but I wanted to make sure it laid flat on there, so I'm just starting in one corner and kind of working my way down the sides to make sure everything tightens down nice and flat against the body. Iron out. Tinning that just a little bit. Bringing that back down to the claw there and soldering it back down.
This barbell killing me is pretty good.
Yeah, that stuff's usually pretty good.
Huh?
So that stuff's usually pretty good. Making sure it's not going to catch on the springs or anything when it's put back together. Okay, now we're doing the output jack. Same thing. Couple of quick little connections there. Now I'm doing a sound check. Make sure all the pickups are working the way they're supposed to, that the tone pot and the volume pot, everything's working properly. You just take a piece of metal, screwdriver, or anything like that, stick it in the position that you want it in, and check to make sure that the pickups are working with the switch in the way they're supposed to. Alright, this is just about going to be a wrap on this video. Stay tuned. We'll see you in the next one. Like and subscribe. Thank you guys very much. Here's the finished product of the body. Thank you.